Hello, friends.
Hi.
It's Kathy and Eddie here at Spicey Cat Jams. I'm Kathy, by the way.
And I'm Eddie. Still getting used to the new camera.
We are. I'm doing pretty good about looking in the right spot, though.
Oh yeah, it's over here. I'm always looking at the screen to the side.
So if Eddie looks like he's looking up into space, he's looking at the display. You know, technically, we should one day we'll be professional enough to like not have to look at that. But right now, we don't know. So half the time, I'm like way out of way out. Half my head's cut off. So we're still having the display up. Anyways, what are we here for today? Well, I had talked about this, I think, in my first Truth Be Told Tuesday question, which if you've not seen that one, you need to check out the playlist and start joining in the fun. It's our weekly interactive video. And I know I mentioned it last year on the channel. I did a video just by myself. And this year, Eddie's going to join in. And so is Kim. Hopefully, but it may not happen. I'll get to sit down with her so she can give us her input. But if I can't, then you're stuck with me and Eddie. But it's kind of a fun thing to do, and I have done this, gosh, do you remember how many years I've been doing this? Well, at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, because I remember I helped you one year.
Yeah.
That was the kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Not Keep It Simple Dummy. It's since her last name is Spicer, Keep It Simple Spicer.
Yeah. So what he's talking about is, we talked earlier at the beginning of the year about resolutions, and I don't do resolutions per se. I think resolutions are always super difficult, and we kind of set ourselves up to fail. At least I know I do. They don't work to motivate me for a little bit.
At first it begins fine, but then as the year and life progresses, you run into hurdles and stuff like that, and then you try to remember your resolution, but the whole thing that your resolution didn't work, you know, or not, excuse me, didn't work last year, but you're trying to do it because because it's what happened last year, and you want to change it. But the thing is, life happens, and sometimes not that you should beat yourself over because your resolution didn't fail. If you keep it up and still get it, kudos. But you know, it's different for everybody. People have their own resolutions. It might be the same, but it's different, and people approach it differently. So, which is fine, but that's where Kathy and I agreed, and I'm going to start to follow. Decided to do something a little bit different that we can mix in, you know, with our everyday lives, and just, you know, think about our one word and then apply it with the situation that's happening at the moment as life goes on, because we can't plan on what's going to happen. We just live with it and work with it. And so our one word for the year is how we're going to incorporate into what's going on with.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Eddie's already started to explain it. I did not come up with this concept, and I can't remember the person's name that did. Of course, they wrote a book about it, and they have a website, but it's called My One Word. And what you do is you pick a one word, or it could be, you know, a couple words, and instead of like trying to change a bunch of things, or even just one big thing, just focus on something that will end up making a positive change in your life, and more than likely the lives of the people around you. So for me, there's always something there's a lot of things I need to improve, but if I can have a focus, and it almost becomes a mantra for me when I'm faced with challenges in the year, I just look back on this word, and like Eddie had said, the one he helped me with one year, I chose simplify. Now, you wouldn't know it by looking around my life, but it actually helped me a lot that year, like when I had to make tough decisions, and you know, it was simplifying relationships, it was simplifying, you know, my thoughts, more than just the physical stuff. And my goal is that every year I carry that word forward and just keep building on it. And it's always tough for me to come up with my word. I am a spiritual person, so I pray on it. And like last year, I did not like the word that kept popping in my head, and I had told God, I really don't want this one. It's going to be a lot of work. And then I knew I needed to do it. So my 2017 one word was change, and I had talked about that in other videos. And I did very well. A lot better than if I hadn't even picked that, or, you know, if I had set my resolution to like lose 20 pounds, I can guarantee you I wouldn't have done it. But by using the word change, I tried to make positive changes in my life, which included my diet and my activity and wherever else I needed changes. But because I looked at it that way, I actually did lose 20 pounds last year. Yay me! So that's kind of the whole concept behind it. So for 2018, I came up with my word, and I invited Kim and Eddie if they wanted to join me. And some of our friends out here, you guys joined me last year and shared. So I would love for you to do that with us if you're interested. You know, we can try and check in. I think we won't do them but maybe even quarterly we can just do a quick video to check in and let you know how we're doing, and maybe share some areas that you're surprised where you needed to use that word, or just to help motivate each other and help each other. My whole thing is to try and help other people, you know, just lighten your load and know you're not alone. And we all struggle and have challenges. So if we can, you know, help each other a little bit, it makes a world of difference. So with that long, typical Kathy spiel being said, would you like to go first or would you like me?
Go ahead.
So my one word, again, was not an easy one that I'm, you know, why can't I do a simple thing? Just like happy. Be happy. So my one word for 2018 is commit. Now, did I tell you this yet? Oh, I can't remember if I told them. I am the queen of wishy-washy, or starting a project, getting all gung-ho, and then, you know, it's kind of like the whole resolution thing, where I hit a roadblock, or I get frustrated, or I get bored, and I just drop it.
Unless the fire alarm goes off.
Unless the fire alarm goes off, and it's like, yeah, time to clean out the toaster oven. Anyway, that's another story. So my goal for this year is to learn and improve my commitment. I want to commit to being a better friend to my friends, to being a better wife to this dude, you know, a better employee at my job. And there's a lot of stresses going on right there, but I'm kind of taking ownership, you know, me to commit to making it better where I can, to continue to be committed to improving my health, to commit to some of the projects around the house that we've got halfway done or a quarter, and then life happens. You know, life happens a lot and derails us. So this is my year to commit and just do things. We'll see. Commit to, what else can I commit to? To my religion, to become a better Christian. I need to work on that relationship, on my faith.
Commit to having a well-being in your life.
Yeah.
A healthy life.
Right, to focus and
all aspects of a healthy life.
Yep.
Physically, mentally, like that, yeah.
So even if it was something, one of the examples one of the many things I do that drives him nuts is he'll be like, okay, let's go out, just one, let's go out to eat. Where do you want to go? Honestly, some of you can understand. I personally don't care where we go. To me, the focus is to get to spend some time with him one-on-one, hopefully phones down, and to enjoy a meal. I can find something I'd like to eat anywhere. Now, that's my thought of it. I'm not trying to be difficult. He, like, just wants me to make a decision. So, I mean, something as simple as that, I'm going to try not to pull the, oh, I don't care, what do you feel like? And he's like, if I would have asked you if I wanted to tell you where I wanted to go. So, you know, it can be just that simple. I'm just going to commit to say, hey, let's go to Perkins. And he'll either tell me, no, or he'll be like, okay. So instead of turning it into a disagreement or an argument and then not enjoying our outing, that's one of the ways. So,
which will lead me to my word.
what's Eddie's word?
Compromise.
Ooh.
Compromise, because, as Kathy has mentioned, as in everyday life, as life goes on, we run into these. Sometimes we run into barriers or things that'll throw us off and all that. We make commitments to do this, things around the house or whatnot, and things happen. Things happen. So I figured, what can I do? And I already started it. I started it about 14 years ago. I did. Honestly, I did. And she thinks it's funny, but I'll tell you.
Oh, it's because when we met.
That's right. We started a relationship. We started dating and all that. And as anybody knows, you got to make changes. You got to, not just have it just one way. You got to compromise. So 14 years ago, we've been married 12, but 14 years ago, I started compromising with her on some things. At first, it wasn't the eating thing. That just happened recently, where we started compromising, and what we started doing was, what don't you feel like eating? Instead of saying, what do you feel like eating? Now we ask each other, what don't you feel like eating?
So we can.
And this is, by the way, this is what it is. I don't know if you can see it. It's a nightlight. So sorry, I just need something to keep in my hand.
Fidgety. I don't know. I got a fidget spinner down here that I'm messing with.
So the thing is compromise, but I asked the question is, what don't you feel like eating? Well, I don't feel like eating Chinese. I don't feel like eating that. Okay, throw out a few things that we don't want to eat. Fine. All right, here's what our options. Okay, well, now here's what we can do. Okay, hey, that sounds good. We just compromise to know what we don't want to eat and what we can eat, feel like eating, or what we can go out for. It works for a lot of things too, and so, like I said, the biggest one was when we started our relationship, and then we go along. We're going along with that, and so just trying to make things, want the best gosh darn looking house, but it's not going to happen. But we can make it work where it's presentable.
Better. Well, and compromise is a great one because it applies much more than to, like, if you're in a relationship, like with a spouse. It's compromise with your parents when they maybe drive us a little nuts, which they don't. We love them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know.
Or siblings, or your employer.
Yeah, exactly.
All those things, or
so compromise is my word, and when I first started with where I work now, I still enjoy it. I really do, but I put my time in it, and now, I told Kathy this year we're going to be spending more time together. And now that my job knows who I am, what I like to do, how I like to work, I can take off a little bit more time when I want it, because they know that I can still do the job when they need me to do the job. I'm compromising with them, even though they don't know it. But yet then again, I'm taking more time off so we can be together too. So compromise is a big word. It's just how you think about it, how you want to use it, and how you put it into your life. And yet, it's a feel-good word because, hey, you know what? No, I didn't, reach for the stars, but, I was in the atmosphere. Well, hey, that's not bad for this time around, type of thing. Stuff like that. So,
and it cannot always be a feel-good because a lot of things we do we're concerned about us, and we're selfish with things. So in order to compromise, sometimes you're going to have to give up maybe what you want. Just say it.
Yeah.
In any situation. I'm not like trying to pick on him or make anything as far as a marriage. That's just part of a marriage.
Right.
You sacrifice your wants and needs for the other person. So I won't take advantage of him for that, and then he will equally not take advantage of throwing commit back in my face or trying to have me committed by the end of the year. No. But I'm just excited that we can do this together, because Eddie's very supportive, and every year I let him know what my word is, and he does help me when he's seen me struggle with a challenge. You know, he'll bring up, he's like, well, what was your goal this year? What's, you know, apply that. So he is great in that aspect. He always can, you know, he's always my rock. So to be able to hopefully help him.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes,
remember that.
We all know that.
I never know that. That's why I help. No, just kidding. It's more than that. But.
It is, but so this way I'm excited that it's something we can truly do together. And when I see him struggling or frustrated, you know, I can kind of bring it back and say, okay, how can we look at this as a compromise so that everyone's happy? So yeah, pretty exciting. Now let's pop over to a quick visit with Kim to see what her word is and if we can help her.
Hey, Kim here. And my word of the year, which is new for me this year, is going to be structure. Because I am like a little squirrel. Like I see something and I have like no structure. And it's just like in my daily life. And I've been doing pretty good so far. I've got a nice little planner going, like my meals I need to plan out so I know what's going on, everybody's schedule, because there's 3 of us. Granted, it's not that big of a deal, but again, I just get off track. I mean, I'm even scheduling like when to go to church, when to, you know, read, when to journal, you know, all those little things, like little reminders. I also have a grease board that I'm going to be putting up in my bathroom because that's where I'm at every single day, no matter what, and just putting little notes like what to work on, like what's your priority this week, what's your priority this day, especially when it's a hectic week. It'll be day by day, but that's what I'm working on. So far, so good. I know I can do better, but baby steps, because it's a big thing for me. I grew up with everything so structured in my life that I've just gone to the extreme the other way. So that's what my word is, and I'm looking forward to see how it's going to go by the end of the year. So thank you for listening. Thanks for joining. See you later, friends. Bye.
Okay, friends. Did I already say that if you want to go on the My One Word challenge with us, comment down below. If you want to share it publicly, what your word is, go for it. You can comment below, or you can send it in a message just to me privately. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, any of those places. But let's, you know, try and help and encourage each other. Because, you know, come this summer, it's going to be like, what do we want to do this year? We'll remember and check in with each other.
Or what didn't we want to do this year? We'll remember.
We'll remember. Crap, we weren't going to do this, and look, we're doing it again. No, to me, it's always putting the positive spin on it. So I don't like to say, you know, you can't do this, we won't do this. You know, let's just flip it. Well, what will we do? I think, for me, I know it's a mind game, but it works for me. If I can just spin it positive in my brain, it's much more likely to come into place. So
That's right.
And I don't get as frustrated then. It's so.
There just be some things that you gotta stop red, some things you can go green. I like my night lights. It was from another subscription box that I had that
we never even filmed. It was a one-time wonder. Are we done now?
I guess.
Okay. We've chatted long enough. We just wanted to share what our goal is for the year. Love to help and support you. And don't forget, even if you don't want to do a My One Word, the one mantra you always need to say in your head whenever you have a doubt is, you matter. Yeah. We said, you know, life happens. It happens to all of us.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Good, bad, bottom, top. We've all been there, and we know what it feels like to be in every single direction.
Yeah. You think you can't get any lower, and then you find out, yep, there's still a mudslide pulling me down. So it helps to know that there's people in the world that care for you, and that, you know, we think you matter, and we'd be really sad not to have you around. So just take a breath. Keep on.
Relax.
Keep it on. See you again soon, friends.
Bye-bye.
Bye.